Alright, Pistons fans, so in today's video, we're going to be talking about the Pistons reportedly no longer pursuing Deandre Ayton. But before we get into all of that, please make sure you guys like this video. Today's like goal is 200 likes. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. I drop consistent Pistons content. And please subscribe. I want to get to 6K really soon. So subscribe if you're new here. Now let's get right into this. So I said this yesterday in my video on Duren, who's 18 years old right now. He's 6'11", 250, with still the ability to get taller and gain a lot more weight, with tremendous physical ability, athleticism, and pick and roll, along with low post skill. It makes you reevaluate what you want to do in free agency. Do you necessarily have to go after Mo Bamba? Do you necessarily have to go after Mitchell Robinson, pay $20 million to him because reportedly that's what he's expecting this offseason? Do you have to spend all the money in the world to sign Ayton to a max contract? You don't necessarily have to do that anymore because you have Duren now. And it's the same thing with Ivy. You are no longer pressured to go out there and sign a guard. You don't have to be pressured to sign Colin Sexton or Jalen Brunson. You can just sit back now, and it's the same thing at the big man position. You can let Bagley or Stewart be the starting center, and then eventually, once Duren gets a little bit of footing under himself, give him a little bit of time, he can move into that starting role. And with him being only 18 years old right now, he has a lot of room to improve. So put the image on the screen right now. This reads, the Pistons are no longer expected to pursue Ayton in free agency. Per sources, Detroit is eager to build back playoff contention with the aforementioned young core, and the Pistons are expected to use the majority of the remaining cap space to add multiple veterans rather than just one big swing this offseason, sources say. And if the Pistons do decide to go on that route and, add little small pieces here and there, rotational players, role players, guys to specialize in certain areas, whether that be, on the defensive side of the ball or, maybe a sharpshooter on offense. If the Pistons decide to go in that direction, I think it will heavily benefit our younger players. We know that Cade Cunningham is about to take another leap. We know that Saddiq Bey is about to take another leap. And then you add Ivy and Duren and the other young players that we have in this roster as well, like Killian Hayes and Diallo, slowly but surely growing as well. I think that adding role players in free agency will benefit this team and allow our young players to have more shot attempts, have more minutes, and playing more intense basketball games, rather than, going out there and just getting someone like Ayton, because Ayton, he will kind of slow down the development of someone like Duren and Isaiah Stewart and other players on this roster a little bit, because he's going to have the ball in his hands in the post a lot. He's going to have a fair high, number of shot attempts, and our other young players just wouldn't be, as big of a priority if we decide to go after Ayton. And then something else that I will mention is that you're going to have a full year next season being able to see Marvin Bagley if the Pistons decide to re-sign him. We saw what type of success he had towards the end of the season last year after the trade deadline. Just imagine what it's going to be like when he has a full year to play with Killian Hayes and Cade Cunningham. So between the two possible options, whether that be signing Deandre Ayton or a mix of talented role players, I prefer the option of role players, because Deandre Ayton, he's going to be requesting a lot of money, and I just don't think he, should be paid that Karl Anthony Towns, Joel Embiid, Jokic. I just don't think that he's on that level. He's a tier below those guys. So if you pay him X amount of dollars, he's not going to live up to the expectation of the type of money that he's going to be getting, because he should be expected to put up numbers like a Karl Anthony Towns, but he simply won't, because Deandre Ayton is not that type of player. He's not on that level. Now, if we do end up signing Ayton, I won't be opposed to it. I'm sure that the Pistons will be, near the play-in tournament or even the 8th seed of the playoffs if we did sign someone like Ayton and add other little pieces here as well. But I'm just going to enjoy Pistons basketball next year, and I think it will probably be a better situation if we decide to add role players. But Pistons fans, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Like this video, comment on this video, share this video. Thank y'all for 5K, and I'm out.